Hello, welcome. Take Two Tuesday. We are about 2 minutes late, but better late than never, right? Better late than never. Welcome to Take Two Tuesday. Hi, how is everybody doing? Is anybody here today? We've got a few of you. Hi, Sapphire P. I don't recognize that name. Welcome. If you are watching, I see there's only 10 people on right now, so hopefully we're going to give it a minute or so and get some people jumping in. If you're here, jump in the chat and say, hey, I'm watching, just so I know. I don't want to just to have me and Sapphire be the only ones here today. I'm sure there's a lot of distractions because Stephanie is on HSN today. So I am competing with her a little bit, right? I am going to be competing with her a little bit. She is going to be on, let me see, we have some times. She was already on this morning, and then she will be on again. I have the times here. She's going to be live at 12 p.m. Pacific, which is 3 p.m. if you're on the East Coast, and also at 4 p.m. on Pacific, which is 7 p.m. on the East Coast. So a couple more times today she'll be on. But in the meantime, until she comes back on, you guys can join me here for Take Two Tuesday. So welcome. My name is Ken. I'm trying to fix some things here. I'm using my backup mic today, so hopefully it is working. My regular mic decided that it would not charge. So I'm using the backup mic. I might sound a little bit different, but hopefully everything works. But welcome. And hopefully some of you will have some more people be jumping in. So I'm going to stall here for a minute. But I wanted to let you know that, again, Stephanie is on live today. And this is on HSN. I'm live here on YouTube and Facebook for Take Two Tuesday. What we do here at the Stamps of Life is once a week we join together. And we go back in time and we take a look at some items from the Stamps of Life that are a little bit older. So if you are new to the Stamps of Life, you might not have ever seen any of these items. So it is a chance to introduce them to you. And then for those of you who have been with us for some time, it's very possible that you have these items. And so it's kind of a review and a reminder for you that you want to take these items out and use them. So today we're going to look at a combination of stamp and die set that is perfect for Halloween. And then we have a nice slimline die set too that we're going to check out these items. We have some fun facts to go over. What are our fun facts for? I think is it July fun facts maybe? And then we also have a July quiz, I think. Let me check my notes here. We have a quiz that you'll have to help me out to try to see if we can get the right answers. And yes, our fun facts are for July. So we'll do that. Then at the end, we'll have a little devotional. We'll open up our Bibles, and we're reading in Proverbs chapter 25. We're looking at the last verse, verse 28, and kind of talks about self-control. It talks about ruling over our spirit. So we'll do that. We call that our good news segment. That is at the very end. So if you want to stick around for that, that's something extra we do, bonus. If you're just here to craft and check out these items from the Stamps of Life, that'll kind of be the first section. We will mix in a little quiz and the fun facts just to kind of make our brains work a little bit extra and have some fun together and think about some things. So that's the plan. So thanks for joining me. Great day here. We got our brand new card kit shipped out today. So if you did not see that yet, I think I have an image. Let me show you. This new card kit is going out. If you are a Card Kit Club member, this card kit is being shipped out to you today. And I actually have one right here in the studio with me. So I'm going to show you that. If you want to sign up and join the Card Kit Club, you can do that on the Stamps of Life website. We'd love to have you join the club. When you sign up, you get 2 welcome gifts as sign-up gifts. And then you also get, let me fix something here. You also get 2 freebies from me. We've been doing that for the last few months. I have so much extra stuff here at our warehouse here in Laguna Hills in Southern California that it's impossible for us to sell it all. So what I've been doing is taking a couple of these items each month and adding them to your kit. So if you are in the club, you've been getting a couple of extra bonus gifts each month. That includes this month. So you can count on that. And for the next few months, that's going to happen too. So you're getting extra freebies from Ken here. And I love to do that. And it makes more space for us here at our at our warehouse. And we really need space. So make sure, I'm going to show you the items here that are in the kit. This is called the One of a Kind kit. And it does coordinate with our Chips Galore items. You can use that if you're a Die Hard Club or Stamp Club member. You can use these items along with your Die Hard Club stamps and dies if you like. This kit can just be used on its own. What's nice is everything coordinates together. So you're going to be able to open up the kit and you get to start making cards. You don't have to think about, now what colors will work together? Or I wonder about, do I have any embellishments to finish off this card? Or no, it's all in the kit. So I'm going to show you the items here real quick, okay? So let's take a look at these items from the Stamps of Life, our one-of-a-kind card kit. So first off, you get some little epoxy square dots. Those are already sold out on our website. We did have some extras, but we sold out of those real quick. Then these cool little epoxy dots here, epoxy circles, and you get some washi tape. You get this one-of-a-kind die. Ooh, that's kind of messy over there. Let me clean that up. Hard to tell what that is, but it's backwards. It says one-of-a-kind. You're going to be able to add that to your card. And then we have this cool paper pad. It is also called one-of-a-kind, and tons of different pattern papers in there. Double-sided, 6x6. All coordinates with your kit. I'm not going to show you what this is, but freebies. You get your idea card. That comes, we do that with all our club shipments. You always get an idea card. It gives, kind of nice, it gives you a starting place, some ideas for you, how you can use your kit. Some stickers that coordinate with our kit here. Puffy stickers. Now I know those did run out on the website too. We sold out. We have some extras gone. And then we have our A1 reverse card. Yes, you get a full size card base. This is A1 size in your kit. What a deal. And then of course you have your cardstock and envelopes and all that stuff. Okay, so that is the new kit. You can join the club if you want. We just asked for a 3-month commitment. We really think if you are a card maker and you're a fan of the Stamps of Life, you're going to love being in the Card Kit Club. So you can join, you can sign up for that on our website. And let's see what else. So I talked to you about the kit. Oh, on our website, actually, speaking of that, we do have a couple of new items. And let me show you those real quick. Usually we have a big release on the 15th, but since Stephanie is on HSN, our offering this time is a little bit smaller, but there are a couple nice items. So I want you to see those real quick. And I'm going to switch over there so you can check out our website. You go to the stampsoflife.com. Oh, we're going to use that in a second. Let me get this here. Stampsoflife.com. Boop. There it is. And we do have these few items still on flash sale. But these ones here are brand new. Super deal on this Holiday Circle word die set right here at the first item. It coordinates with some of the items that Stephanie is introducing on HSN today. So you might want to check that out. They kind of combine and work together. You might like that. And then we have this Holidays Forever clear stamps. Bunch of different sayings, little phrases that you can use there for your card making. The googly wiggle eyes there, I'm going to get more of those. Hopefully we'll be sending more of those to our warehouse in Utah, and they'll get back added to the website. I think there's supposed to be like 600 or 700 of those little eyes inside each box. So those are a great deal. We keep adding them and they keep getting sold out. So if you want to get them and you've been missing out, hit that notify me button. It's going to send an email to your email box when they're back in stock. And then these items, back on the 7th, we ran out. We didn't have a big supply of them, but they're back in stock. And since we ran out of them so fast, Stephanie decided just to leave them on flash sale on our website, okay? So those three, the Grand Side Fold It, it's an A2 card, the 5x7 Turtle Friend Dies, and then the Happy Summer Fold It, that's kind of like a word, but it's a Fold It. They're all on flash sale. We left those on flash sale because we felt bad about not having enough of those when we added them to the website last week. So we'll just leave them on sale. That way, if you missed it, you still have a chance to get the best price, okay? If you are enjoying this episode, I would ask you to, hey, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe if you would do that. If you haven't liked the Stamps of Life, thumbs up anywhere on YouTube, Facebook, if you can do that. And if you want to subscribe, if you're not normally a subscriber, this will give you updates when Stephanie has a new video comes out or when we go live, both of those, okay? Let's see. Has anybody else jumped in? Damari's here. Shanika, great. Welcome all of you. Bryant forever. Shelby, Sharon. Oh, my icebreaker question. I forgot to do that. Hey, this is what we're going to do, and I need all of you to get involved. This is super important because we want to have some interaction here. So I have this question for you. Let me get rid of this little... how did I get that over there? Now I can't get rid of it. There we go. Our question, make sure you answer this in the chat, okay? Answer in the chat. And if you're watching at a later time, if you miss out on the live chat, you can answer down in the comment section below, okay? Love to hear from all of you. So get involved. This is your chance here. What's your favorite thing about the place where you live? Tell me something special about the place where you live. And I like where we live. We kind of have a lot of neighbors and people get out often, walking about and such. And so we encounter and we come across the neighbors, and it's kind of like a friendly area. So I really appreciate that about the place where we live, that we've been in homes where we kind of have been a little more isolated, but in the neighborhood where now people are out and about and friendly and we get to interact with them. But I want to know, what is your favorite thing about the place where you live? It could be something outside of your house, or it could be something about your house. What is your favorite thing about the place where you live? Add that in the comment section, okay? And I see Michelle's here. Teresa, awesome. Welcome, all of you. And we have some good answers here. Let's see. Sharon says, what a great kit. Let me add some of these out here. Yeah, Bryant Forever, the wiggly eyes are sold out again. I'm hoping to have more of those to ship, and maybe by the end of the week, they'll be back on there. Each time we add them to the website, they go out. Let's see. Yes, Damari, Stephanie, I ran the little screen a little bit before. She's going to be on at 12 p.m. Pacific, and also 4 p.m. Pacific today. So add 3 hours if you're on the East Coast. So that would be 3 and 7 on the East Coast. She was on earlier this morning at 7 a.m. or in the 7 a.m. hour. Now, so you never know exactly what part of the hour is. So you just flick on the TV. Now, if you missed the earlier one, you can go on the HSN website and they'll be replaying it from the 7 o'clock hour today. But if you want to watch live, it's 12 p.m. Pacific and then 4 p.m. Pacific also. And that will keep you caught up with what's going on there. So Teresa says, hi from New York. And she says she's by the beach is what makes it special. Michelle says, hi from Georgia. Brian says, my yard and some great neighbors. Yeah, it's nice to have some space. And Damari says she lives pretty close to all the amusement parks. Are you in Orlando, Damari? And Sylvie says, I like that it's so quiet. I love watching the 4 stray chickens. You got stray chickens in your neighborhood. Good. Good. And Teresa says she did see Stephanie earlier today, and she was great. So I thought she did good too. So I think she only had, one item on. Oh, Valerie says in Tennessee, it's beautiful here. Seasons, wildlife, friendly people. That's a good combination. Yeah, I think only one item went on earlier, and she's got 9 total and 2 more appearances. So she might be doing 4 or 5 items in the next couple batches. So I assume she's going to have more time. I thought she would have more time in that morning section, but just 1 item. But it was good to see her there. Olivia says hi from the Inland Empire. Okay, we're going to get rolling. I've been chatting too long here. I always kind of take too much time up at the beginning. But let's get started. So our first item, and I told you this would be Halloween related. Now, I know we are in July. Like last week, we did Christmas in July. And if you're on HSN, they have some Christmas items. But you know what comes before Christmas? Halloween. And so we have this collection of stamps and dies called Spooky to Stamp. Now, here's the interesting thing. If you have these, this is kind of weird. You know, we've been around since 2009. 2009. A long time. 16 years. Well, Spooky to Stamp, the stamps, let me show you these over here. The stamps came out in, I have a typo there, August of 2010. The stamps were August of 2010. Can you believe that? This is going way back in time. But you know what? We didn't make dies back then. So only the stamps came out. And for some reason, we started doing dies, and it took us a long time before we got to the point where we finally added dies. Well, we did that in, what does it say? 2020. We added the coordinating dies. So, of course, we sold a lot of the stamps over the year, but when we hit 2020 and the dies came out that coordinate, then it really took off. So you might have this collection. It's just about 5 years old, and I have some nice card samples to share with you. So I'm going to show you these, and then we are going to check out the website. Here's our card samples first, so let's do that. Trick or treat, it says all these cool Halloween colors. And our designer, you know how I'm a big fan of adding depth to your cards. So if they use some of the adhesive foam here, and you can see how it just pops that up a little bit extra right there. That makes a big difference in your card. See that little square under there? Adds a little extra depth and a little interest. Our flat cards, totally fine, yes. But if you want to add something a little extra special, that adhesive foam will really make a big difference. Happy Halloween, says that one. This one does not belong here. Somehow I got a Christmas card mixed in with our Halloween cards. And, I know you guys, I made, excuse me, give me 1 second. Hold on, I'm going to get a drink of water here real quick. I made this monster a couple weeks ago, and I took a couple of the wiggly googly eyes there, and I added them, so I think it makes them really cool. So that's what we were talking about. 1 second, water break. I'll be right back. Okay, that's better. So if you were wondering what the googly eyes are, there you go. He's pretty cool. All right, back to our featured item here, Spooky to Stamp with the dies. Aren't these cards just super cool? I really love all of them. Purple, black, orange, total Halloween colors. That's a mini slimline. And here's a big 5x7, and we see our little gnomes have been added to Halloween too. So there you go, some great ideas from our design team. And let's go ahead and switch over to take a look at, the website so you can see what's there. I think there will be even more card samples. Let's take a look. All right, there you are. So that's the stamp set, and it says retiring soon. So I don't know if that will mean just through this fall, but if you want to get it, now is the time because it does say retiring soon. You get 22 stamps on this one, made in the USA stamps. Great, fun collection. Oh, see, originally this was called Spooky to Scare. And then when we updated with the dies, they got a name changed to Spooky to Stamp. So if you have Spooky to Stamp or Spooky to Scare, this might work together with the dies. There's the stamps, and we saw some of these card samples here already. I think we saw all of those. Yeah. Okay, all of those are available. Then you scroll, if I can say it right, scroll down. Now we do have way more Halloween items. Oh, there they are. Okay. So there's the die set that works with this. And 22 dies. Bunch. And it looks like I'm going to scroll through these real quick, these same card samples. I was hoping there would be more, but no. Okay, so that's all there on the website, and then you can scroll down. You can see our other Halloween items. There's a lot of great stuff. This one has always been super popular, the fancy pumpkin. So if you're thinking of Halloween already, even though we're in July, it's good to plan ahead. We have some items there on the website. Now, before I stamp and die cut with these, let's go ahead and check out. What's the humming noise, Olivia said? Yeah, I have a different mic today, so I might have a little bit of back. Ooh, is that still connected? I hope. Give me 1 second. 1 second here. I'm going to check on my mic. Give me 1 second. I'll show you my monster again. Our little monster. He'll be right back. Let me check this here. Okay, let's try the mic again. I hope it's better. I'm sorry, you guys. I am using the backup mic today. For some reason, the batteries didn't charge on my regular one, and so hopefully we don't get humming, but I think something might happen, so I apologize for that. The dies, they're on the website, Shelly. You just type in spooky, and it's going to show you the dies. Spooky is all you have to do. We're going to go ahead and do our July quiz right now. So let's have some fun together. I need everybody to jump in and join in. Let's see the die. What were the names of the dice? It's Spooky to Stamp. Spooky to Stamp is the die set that we're looking at, Shelly. All right, I'm going to find our trivia questions, and we're going to run through these and see how many of these questions we can get right. I know some of them are 4th of July related, but not all of them. So let me pull up this. We're going to share a page here. And we're going to do a quiz together. So I really need your help. When I do these quizzes by myself, it doesn't go so great. So if you're in the chat, make sure you help me out and answer, okay? Because I will need some help on some of these, I know without a doubt. So let me add the screen we're going to add. There we go. And this is just to have some fun together. I know for some people, this is not your favorite part of the show. You can just go surfing on the internet if you want, and we'll come back to our crafting, all right? If this is not your favorite part, but I think it's fun. Gives us some things to think about. All right, here we go. Let me see if you can see what I'm showing you. Okay, we've got it. In July 1953, wow, we're going way back in time. This is 15 years before I was even born. How much did Elvis Presley pay to record 2 songs at the Sun Records studio? $2, $4, $8, or just $1? Does anybody know how much Elvis paid to record 2 songs at the Sun Records studio? We got one answer. Brian says 4. Anybody else? I'm going to go with the 4 if we don't get another answer. So somebody else jump in there. Otherwise, we're going with 4. I would just be guessing because I wouldn't guess it'd be 1. It seems like it's got to be more, but $4, maybe $4 was a lot of money back then. I'm not sure. Jody says 2. Anybody else? We got to break the tie. 4 or 2. Janice says 8. 8. We got a couple of 8s. All of this, you guys, we're just all over the place. So we're just going to pick the first one, which was 4. We're going to go with 4. If it's wrong, it's my fault. Here we go. Correct. All right, we got that one. Good job. In what city, Question 2. In what city were the new 7 wonders of the world officially announced in July 2007? In what city were they announced? Was it Rome, New York, Lisbon, or Berlin? I don't know how any of us would know this, but let me know if you know it, because I don't know. Hi, Gail. Yeah, so anybody know those cities? What? This is kind of a weird question. I would guess it's Rome because, like, that's a popular European city, and I think none of the It doesn't seem like it'd be New York. No answers, no guesses on this one, guys? Berlin, says Bryant. Ooh. Bryant, you were right on the $4, so we're going to go with that one. Anybody else? Berlin. Everybody said, got a couple Berlins. Okay, we're going to go with Berlins because we started off with Berlins. All right, let's do that. Berlin. Nope, it was Lisbon. I would have never guessed that one. Lisbon, where is that? Portugal. All right, we're 50-50 so far. What festival celebration takes place every year on the first weekend of July in Roswell, New Mexico? Anything know what happened at Roswell, New Mexico? Is it a UFO festival? Is it South by Southwest? Sundance Film Festival? Is it the New Mexico State Fair? I'm guessing it's the UFO festival. Anybody else agree with me? Roswell. Isn't that where they say like a spacecraft crashed? UFO festival. That's what I'm saying. All right. Yes, we got that one. I'm the first U.S. astronaut who walked on the moon on July 20th, 1969. Who am I? Who was the first Who was the first person to walk on the moon? Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, John Glenn, Gus Grissom. I think it's Neil Armstrong. What do you guys think? I was 1 year old at this time, so I don't think I was paying attention. Armstrong? Anybody else? Neil. Okay. Yep, 3 out of 4. We're moving up. We're in the C category, 75%. On July 4th, 1976, the United States of America celebrated what birthday? The 100th birthday of the country, 150th, the 50th birthday, or the 200th? Well, 1776 to 1976, easy. I'll do that one. Number 6. Come back, number 6. Where'd you go? Okay, in July 2007, $282 million was stolen from a bank in what city? 2007. Was it Los Angeles, Mexico City, Baghdad, or Tehran? Anybody know that one? Does anybody know this one? I would just be guessing. I think it could be Mexico City, but I don't know. Does anybody know a big bank robbery in 2007, 18 years ago? Paulie says LA. Anybody else? $282 million. That's a lot of money. Was it actual dollar bills, do you think? $100 bills, Baghdad? We've got all kinds of answers. We've got 2 Tehrans. Do they have that much money in Iran? Okay, I see 2 votes for that, so we're going to try that. Nope. We all were wrong. Nobody guessed Baghdad. Nobody guessed Baghdad. That was a tough one. Next. On July 4th, 1993, who recited his patriotic poem, Rugged Old Flag, in a Washington, D.C. celebration? Rugged Old Flag. Was it Bruce Springsteen, Billy Graham, Dan Quayle, or Johnny Cash? Does anybody know of the historic patriotic poem? I've heard of the Rugged Cross, which would make me think of Billy Graham. Anybody know this one? Brian, you said Baghdad. I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't see that one. Who did this patriotic poem in 1993? Cash. Says Susan. Anybody else? Anybody else? Bruce Springsteen? Oh, no, we're going to start getting up. Ellen Cutt says Johnny Cash. So we got 2 Cashes so far. I'm going to wait for a couple more votes here. There's some more Johnny Cash. All right, let's try Johnny Cash. Yes, Johnny Cash. Did we skip one? No, we didn't skip one, did we? The symphony orchestra of which U.S. city is known for a huge 4th of July celebration with fireworks? Is it the Boston Symphony, Chicago Symphony, Symphony, Los Angeles, or New York? I'm guessing Chicago, but I don't know. What city has the big symphony orchestra? Maybe it could be Boston, because don't they do it over the harbor? Huge fireworks celebration with fireworks. Boston, Ellen says. I think it's Boston too. All right, good. Number 10, I think we're about 70%. Number 10. What country? Whoops. No, it's being finicky here, our website. So I'm going. What country hosts the wife carrying world championships, which is held annually in July? The wife carrying. I have never heard of such a thing. Finland, Mongolia, Canada, or Japan? Where do they carry around their wives? Anybody heard of this? The wife carrying championship. Any guesses on this? I don't think it's Mongolia, or I'm guessing, I don't know. Anybody heard of a wife carrying championship? Finland, says Ellen. Can anybody back that up? Brian says Japan. We got a couple of Finlands. Polly says Canada. Well, the most votes are for Finland so far. So let's try it. Yes, Finland. If you guessed Finland, good job. Number 11. 11. The first 4th of July celebration at the White House was held in 1801 by which American president? Who was the president in 1801? Hi, Ruth. Was it Thomas Jefferson, John Adams? It can't be Abraham Lincoln or George Washington. Neither one of them. So was it Jefferson or Adams in 2000 or 1801? Who was president in 1801? First 4th of July celebration. Adams or Jefferson? Adams or Jefferson? Don't tell me Lincoln or Washington. I know those are wrong, so don't try to trick me into getting them wrong. John Adams? With Bryant? We got 2 Adams, 1 Jefferson. All right, we're just going to go Adams. Nope, it was Jefferson. Woo! I did see somebody say Jefferson, so whoever said Jefferson, you get it right. The rest of us get it wrong. We're about halfway through. 12. What country hosts the World Championship bathtub race, which is held annually in July? How do people think up these things? Germany, United States, Canada, or Great Britain? A bathtub race. And have any of you ever been in the bathtub race? That would be the better question. That would be the better question. Have any of you ever been in the bathtub race? Yep, Adams. He was wrong. It was Jefferson, Teresa. Bathtub race. Anybody heard of the bathtub race? United States, you guess? Seems like we would do something goofy like that. We got a couple of Germanys. Well, I'm going to go one more. Let's see, one more boat. Ruth says U.S. Polly says Germany. Oh, gosh. We've got more Germany, so we're going Germany. Nope. Canada. Nobody guessed Canada. We're all wrong. Nobody guessed Canada. All right. Number 12. What country? No, we got that. 13. July 2nd, 1921. The Joint Congressional Resolution declared what? What? World War I officially started. U.S. entered World War I. The Great Depression. The World War I was officially over. I'm guessing it's over. In 1921, was World War I over? That's my guess. What do you guys guess? Ruth says she was in a bathtub race. Wow, Ruth, that's impressive. Over. I'm saying it was over too. I'm saying it's over. Let's try over. Yes, we got that one. Which one did we miss? Oh, we missed one here, number 7. Held annually in July, South Korea's, well, I can't say that, Mud Festival originated to promote what local industry? The Mud Festival. Was it for construction? Was it for cosmetics, glassmaking, or for farmers? Or for farmers? Is it for farmers, glassmaking, cosmetics, or construction? Held annually in July. What were they celebrating? What were they celebrating? Construction, cosmetics, glassmaking, or farmers? This is tough. I don't know anything about South Korea. Farmers. We got a couple farmers. Okay, we're just going with that. No, cosmetics. That was a trick one. Number 14, the World Body Painting Festival is held every year in July in which country? Body painting. Ruth will probably know this one. Hey, you guys with the cosmetics, you told me too late. Body painting. Australia, Canada, United States, or Austria. Where do they paint bodies? Where do they paint bodies? Let me know. Let me know. Where do they... Ruth was... No guessing, Ruth. You have to you have to give me the best option. We don't want to get them all wrong. A bunch of you said cosmetics. But now we are on to where do they do body painting? Australia, Canada, United States, or Austria? Australia. We've got a few Australias, so let's go. Nope, it was Austria. Oh my. How many women were on board the space shuttle Discovery, which launched on July 4th, 2006? How many women? I don't know. I don't know. 2006, 19 years ago. I can't keep track of how many women were on the space shuttles. This is like a trick question. Was it 0? Brian says 2. Anybody else? Sylvie says 0. Couple more. We're just about done here. 2, says Ellen. Okay, we've got 2 votes for 2. Yes. If you said 2, you're right. If you said 0, wrong. To whom does Bruce Springsteen sing in 4th of July? Does anybody know the 4th of July song by Bruce Springsteen? Was it to Mary, to Sandy, Wendy, or to Terry? One of you guys got to know this one. I know a few Bruce Springsteen songs, but was it Mary, Sandy, Wendy, or Terry? Does anybody know? Bruce Springsteen, 4th of July. I can't even think of that 4th of July. I was thinking Born in the USA, but that's not the 4th of July song. Wendy, says Polly. Anybody else? We're on 16. We got like 5 more to go. We are slowing down here. The only vote from Polly so far is Wendy. Nobody else? Okay, we're going to go with Polly, you guys. No clue, everybody. Yeah, I don't know that one. Mary, says Valerie. Anybody else? Sandy. Yeah, we picked them all. Mary, we got 2 votes for Mary. Okay, let's try Mary. Nope, it was Sandy. If you said Sandy, you were right. Which act did President George Bush sign on July 26, 1990? That was the first Bush. Federal Employees Retirement Act, Animal Fighting Prohibition Act, National Film Preservation Act, or Americans with Disabilities Act? I'm guessing it's the disabilities. What do you guys guess? 1990. The first President Bush. First President Bush. Disabilities, film, animal fighting, or Federal Employees Retirement. ADA, that's what I think. Disability Acts. Yes. We're moving. 18. Which wide-body 3-engine aircraft did Delta retire from its fleet in July 2001? This is weird. Lockheed, the Boeing, the DC-10, or the MD-11? What plane got retired in 2001? I don't know my planes that much. I don't know them. Do any of you know planes? Lockheed, said Bryant. Anybody else? This plane got retired by Delta. Almost done with this. We're kind of grinding to a halt here. This is a DC-10. We've got some DC-10s. Okay, I'm sorry, Brian, you got outvoted, but you could be right. Everybody's saying DC-10. Brian, you were right again. We should be listening to you on most of these. 19. What historic event occurred in July of 1969? First moon landing. We already got this one. Martin Luther King's death. No, that was 68. Apollo aborted mission. Burglars broke into Watergate. First moon landing, right? Yes. Which United States president decreed July to be National Ice Cream Month? Was it Ronald Reagan, George Washington, George Bush, or Thomas Jefferson? It can't be Jefferson. I don't think they had ice cream back then. It can't be Washington. Was it Bush or Reagan? National Ice Cream Month. National. Okay, we're going with Bryant. Yes. Ronald Reagan. Last one. Who is the month of July named after? Even I know this one. It's not Jesus. It's not King Charles. Charles is not Jules Verne. It's Julius. Not bad. 13 out of 21, right? That's not good. So if it was 20, that would be 65%. That is not good. I'm sorry, that is not good. Not good at all. Like a D. We got a D. If we were to listen to Bryant, we might have got a B. So I just got to pick the right people to listen to. Yeah. Yep, that I don't know if all the months were, but I did know that I just saw in some fun facts that July was after Julius Caesar. All right, let me show you what we can do with these dies. Enough of that. Let's scoot over here. We're gonna check out these dies, okay? Do it. Boop, boop, boop. Where's my dies? Where are my dies? There we go. Okay, there's my machine. Let's get a little more light here. These are the Spooky to Stamp dies from 2020. You might have had the stamp set that was way before that when it was called Spooky to Stamp, and that was from 2010. A little more light here. Whoops, a little too much. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and die cut these. They are easy to do. Let's see. Let's get those out. And kind of need some black paper or some white paper, right? So let's see. We kind of want those to stand out a bit. So I'm going to do something different instead of black or white, which I already did die cut some of these yesterday. Let's go ahead and do this gray background so we can have a little bit of variety. And I'm going to get the dies out here. We're going to do that. And we're going to get we've got our little ghosts. I think I cut those yesterday. Let's do a big ghost today too. What the heck? I didn't do this yesterday. So let's go ahead and get our big ghost. We'll do him in white. And I'm just picking out the shadows here. Give us a little bit. So of course the shadows could all be good. I just have this gray here that I'm going to use just because I have it. But I did use white and black yesterday. But of course, like orange or purple or black, dark green would work good. Those are all kind of Halloween colors, right? I'm just going to run these through our die cutting machine. And we don't have to go all the way. I'll just go back, make it a little bit faster. And let's see what we have here. Before I show you these, I want to go ahead and I want to cut our white ghost. Of course, the ghost has to be white. And I guess I could give him some color. He wouldn't go wrong with any of the Halloween colors, but we're going to make him white today. And again, if we are getting any humming, I apologize. I'm on my backup mic today. I don't know why it does that. It shouldn't be giving any humming. But if you hear any of that, again, it's just because we have a backup mic today. Okay, here's our ghost. This is kind of the inside part of him. We're going to run him through there real quick, and I'll show you what we've got. And then just for fun, we'll go ahead and do the spider web stamp, see if we can do that. I didn't practice with that one yesterday. I didn't do a little time ahead, so that will be interesting to see how that spider web stamps. All right, there's our ghost. You can leave his little mouthpieces in there if you want to layer him just like that. That's a good one. Let me see. I'm going to get a nice piece of cardstock so these guys really kind of stand out for us. Oh, no, that won't work. Let's try black. Okay. So you can see some of my die cutting from yesterday. So there is our, that's kind of distracting. So we're going to get rid of that real quick. Boop, boop, boop. All right. So there's an example of our ghost. He's on gray with some black background. He looks pretty good. And then with what we just did, we have some of these pieces that we just cut. Did I lose one already? How could I have lost one already? I should have 2 hats and 2 ghosts. I have 2 hats, 1 ghost. Well, we lost a ghost. So sad, so sad. Okay, let's see. Let's mix these with some of the ones that I cut out yesterday. So here's the ones we just did today, except we had 1 ghost disappear on us. So there's our hats, our little ghosts there. So we have these combinations here. I had a white background with a black hat there. I did these yesterday. And I did do the spider web as well. We'll go ahead and we will stamp that one in here in just a second. Now I do have the darker background here. So let's see. That would not work good with that. Let's see what else we have here. All right, those are the shadows there. Oopsie, come on now. These guys are getting all hard to pick up. Should have had these ready on a little tray. So here's our ghost. Little white ghost there. Whoops, that's a really teeny one. So you can have him on a gray background like that, like we did with our large one, or you could also go on to a black background. So just giving you some ideas what we can do with these. And I do have another little tiny ghost. He's really small. And there's that little black and white guy. What else did I have? We can, let's try these here and see how they come out. So I had these black witches hats here. So we have those, and we saw the example there with the white background. Let's try it with the, that is not the right size. Oh, I need to do it with that one. So you could do gray on black, which looks kind of fun. And then you can also do your black hat on a gray background there with the smaller size. So you can just kind of think outside the box on those. Let's see what our designers did. So we have a few different hat samples here. So here was just black on black. They layered and shaded a little bit so you can see those there. Black on black hat. And here we have the hats with the white background, but the hats are purple. So does it have to be a black hat? No, it can be purple. And here we go. A black hat with a purple background. So you have all these options. I did gray, white, and black, and they all look together. They all look really good together. So this is like one of those fun kind of basic, when you're doing Halloween, it just seems to all kind of flow naturally together and look nice. So I think you'll have fun with those dies with Halloween coming up. If you want to make some spooky cards just for fun, that is available on the Stamps of Life website. Okay, now I know I'm going to lose all those dies, so I'm trying to keep them together. Oh, there's one of our little ghosts, but that little gray one, he did still disappear. We'll find him. I'm sure he'll show up. All right, I hope you like that item. That was our first item today. Now we're moving along. We are moving along. We just did spooky to stamp, so let me switch. Let's switch over to our other card here. Let's see. Yeah, we are doing Halloween in July because you know what, guys? Before we know it, September will be here. And what comes after September? October. October. You know, the time flies by so fast now that if we don't start making our cards ahead of time, when it comes crunch time, and we got to get them ready, get them mailed out, it's probably not going to happen. Oh, I forgot to. I meant to. Darn it. We're going back. I told you I was going to stamp with this one, so let me do that. We're going to use the little spider web there. I said I was going to stamp with it, and so let's do that. The only problem is I probably have lost what I'm supposed to stamp on. Give me 1 second. I'm going to look, okay? Somewhere in this pile. Where are you, little spider web? Where'd you go? No. Oh, spider web is gone. Where did you go, spider web? Where did that spider web go? Boop, 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 boop. Ah, what a bummer. We lost him. Give me 1 second here. I think I can find it. No. Oh, there it is. I found it. I didn't want to have to spend a bunch of time trying to die cut, going back to die cut. So there is our spider web. We're going to stamp it real quick. I'm sorry, I almost forgot about that. Just want to show you how easy it is to do. Let's see. We've got that. We'll do it right on our secret weapon here. I'm going to zoom in way closer. There's a black cat. All these little dies, I made all these little pieces. They're fun, but now they're all over the place. So there is my cardstock that I'm going to stamp on. Here is my, can you see that? My little stamp there. And I'm going to try to use a smaller size block. So we're going to add that to this block here. It could go on a larger size block if you only have larger, great. It's best to have the block as close to the size as your stamp as possible, but there's no real rule about that. And we're going to use our black ink. This is licorice ink from the Stamps of Life. And we're going to go ahead and ink it up. Now, I have not used this stamp, so I'm going to do an impression first on a piece of cardstock that is extra. And it looks like I have all my lines ready to go here, but I just want to make sure. So let's go ahead and do that. Stamp on there. Yep, looking good. Looking good. So there, that was our test. And let's go ahead and add this back on here. And I'm going to want to make sure I get that lined up real good. That actually did really come out really nice. So let's try it now on our die cut. Let's try it on our die cut. I'm sure that looks crazy white to you guys there. All we have is white on the screen. Let me move that back a little. That'll help us. Okay, I've got my block inked up. Looks like I have enough on there, and I just got to make sure I line this up right. It's a little bit tricky because white on white. I'm going to put something behind the background different because that white on white paper, I can't actually see what I'm doing. All right, here we go. Boop, boop, boop. Make sure I've got that lined up just right. Oh, pressure. Push that down nice and even. Boom. Not bad for the first time. I got right on the edge there, but it's pretty good. Pretty good. Oh, I was just right on the edge there. You see that? It was kind of hard to see. So that might take a couple times through. But the stamp was perfect. It was just the person who was lining up. I had to just a tad bit off. But I think it still is doable, usable. Let's try it. What the heck? I've got the other side here. Let's give it a second shot. It's either all or nothing. And so we're going to go for getting this lined up right. Let's see if I can't do a better time this second time. Here we go. One more shot. One more shot. Don't drop it. I think they're all lined up. Oh. I got 4 different lines there. Let's try again. Look at that. Second try, perfect. Got it just right the second time. Perfect. Good. All right. So we stamped and we die cut with that set. Now we can move on. And I think I already have the next one up, do I? Yeah. Reverse corner. And we're going to have to zoom out over there. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back because we're just going to see a black box. Okay. And we'll get our die cutting machine ready for when we go back over there. There we go. All right. Thanks for your patience. I wanted to go back and make sure we did that. So the web was nice. And let's see that. We're going to get out of here. Next up, these are the reverse corner. This is slimline size, okay? So if you are not familiar with slimlines, they are a little bit larger card. Think of a card that would fit in like a business size envelope. So that's what these dies do. A slimline card. Don't have the exact, let me see if I have the exact dimensions. Is approximately, no, it doesn't tell us. Let me see if I can find somewhere here. So a slimline card is approximately 8.5 by 3.5. And again, what's fun is you can go vertical, horizontal, or horizontal or vertical, one of those. Horizontal, vertical. You can go either direction with these, and you have a lot of space to work with. That is what's nice about a slimline. It fits in like a regular size envelope that you would send out, one of those longer ones. So this is from, when is it? September of 2021. So about 4 years ago. If you have these are fun because, well, let me show you over here. We can see these a little bit better. These card samples, and I'll need a little extra space to show you what I have going on here. I Miss Your Face. We did this one earlier in the year. Oops. And it has that nice die set on there. And it opens up. Here is an opening on this side. Whoop. This one's sealed shut. There it goes. Pops open. You have all this space to work with on the inside. But this set, now you're seeing it's used with the scallop size card base. You can use straight edge, scallop, any version that you have. Decal edge will work, but it has these nice, see these nice corners here? That's the reverse corner. And it really adds something a little extra special to your card. So let me show you some of these other samples. These are all, okay, let's do our horizontal ones first. So there is going that direction. So cool. That's nice for summertime, right? Ice cream themed. We saw that's kind of summery too, Miss Your Face. And then we have a couple more vertical ones. Only God can fulfill. Yep. Only God can complete us. Ooh. It's hard to center these. Nice. Look at all that space. You are loved, it says on the inside. And then this one says, just because. So just thinking of somebody. I think this background here is the wedding ring slimline, which is really nice. Those lines there, really, really cool. I like that. And then again, you see the reverse corners, okay? And you can layer these. And we have some layering dies in this set. So look at all these dies that you get. These layered together. And there are 11 die. Whoops, no, this is the wrong set. I'm looking at the wrong one. Give me 1 second. I'll show you these on the website as well. It doesn't tell us. 6 dies. You get 6 layering dies. The ones here in the center kind of do strips that you could kind of decorate with if you wanted to decorate with those, okay? So reverse corner, if you have these from about 4 years ago, I showed you those nice card samples. I'll show you what I did with some of the layers here. Again, let's go back over to the website. Whoops, I don't think I showed you that. We'll switch to the website here. And so here are the layering dies, and you get your card samples here, which are nice. Merry Christmas. There's that just because. Only God can fulfill, it says. So cool. So we saw most of those. I Missed Your Face. Congrats. There's another one. And then Stephanie will have a video there. 6 dies you can layer, and there's some other slimline items that we'll work with. See the rounded, scallop, regular. These dies will work with all of these sets. So it's just kind of really a way to add something a little extra to your card in a simple, simple way. Now, I'm not going to die cut these because they're pretty basic, like I said, simple to do, but let me fix that real quick. Let's see, we're going to switch back to me. I'll show you I did do die cut some yesterday, but to save us some time, I'll show you what I have managed to put together. So let's do that. All right, so I had my machine yesterday here, and I had the dies that we were working with. Let me grab that package again so you see. This is the slimline die set we have, and again, we have the decorative pieces on the inside, but I just ran these through, and I came up with a bunch of different sizes. And there's no right, wrong. I just picked a bunch of different colors. We have some white, some maybe midnight, peacock. This is not one of our colors, but some different colors. And so I have these, and we can kind of layer them together. Let's do that. So remember I had told you we have different types of cards that they would work on. Well, here's a scallop slimline. Maybe this is sky, maybe. And then we have I did also a decal edge. I cut out a decal edge. So these dies can work on all of these cards. And then we just have a basic, let's use this one here, basic slimline, okay? 8.5 by 3.5 on these. So you just take these, and this will actually work on here really nice. You can just layer on your card something simple like that. And well, I have these words here that I kind of robbed from another card, and you could just do something like this real quick. Got your nice background dies. You can layer them as much as you want. Get your sentiment there on the top. That works nice together, right? Happy birthday. Isn't that easy? You're just going to glue all those down together. Let's say we want to do something on a white card now. Let's just for fun get our white card. We kind of need that background there. So this is on the decal edge, and we need something dark. And let's try something different this time around. Maybe we'll add that. So you get some nice colors standing out there. And then We could just do birthday on the front here. And one more. This was our scalloped. Let's see what we can do with this one. Kind of need to use that. That's our largest one. Let's do something darker this time with some darker colors. But you can see the color combinations. They just really work together nice. You might not necessarily pick these colors that I'm showing you, but just to show you how easy it is to do a few layers and really make your card stand out nice. Where did I lose my happy? There it is. Birthday's nice, but the happy really makes a little bit of difference. So some different things you can do with this set. Fun to use. I do have this, I cut some of the strips, but I do not see them now. What happened to those strips? So the strips were kind of, oh, there they are. So a bunch of different strips over here with the same colors. And you could just use these kind of to decorate, maybe give your card a little bit extra interest. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't see any cards, any of those samples featuring these dies, but it is included. So it is something that you could layer, add a little extra interest to your card. All right, so that is the Stamps of Life Reverse Slimline Dies. And again, we want to show you one more time. This is a real fancy, nice idea using the reverse corners there. And they've got a couple layers on it, but then this has the wedding ring slimline background on the inside. And then again, you have all that space. I love you, it says. Nice. Look, there's a good idea too. You can even use your reverse corner dies on the inside of your card. See how easy that is? And it really makes it kind of special. All right. We are wrapping it up there. Let's see. Yeah, nobody's saying a word, Shelly. It is quiet today. We only have like 20 people watching. So it is pretty quiet, and most everybody is on YouTube. I'm sure a lot of people are watching the HSN Craft Day today. So if you're doing that, you have an excuse not to be here, but hopefully some people will watch our replay. Let's see. Let's do our fun facts for July. Let's do our fun facts for July. Now, if you want something special to celebrate today, I have the national days here, which this is always kind of fun. Let's get rid of that. And today is July 15th. It's National Gummy Worm Day. How about that? Gummy Worm Day. World Youth Skills Day, and it shows these kids like in a workshop making stuff, which is good. National Clean Beauty Day. I don't know what that means. And then Black Currant Day. I don't know of any of those, but I will stand up for National Gummy Worm Day. I vote for that one. Tomorrow, if you want to celebrate tomorrow something, National Hot Dog Day. That's okay. Fresh spinach, National Cherry Day. But this is the creepy one. Tomorrow is World Snake Day. And they got a picture of this nasty looking snake. So I don't think we want to celebrate that one. But if you need some things to celebrate today, I vote for gummy worms. Tomorrow, I guess I'm voting for the hot dogs, but maybe you like the cherries or the spinach. But snakes, no. Let's leave the snakes out. Let's leave the snakes out. Okay, we're trying to get to our fun facts here. No, we did that one. No. Okay, here we go. Fun facts for July. Birthstone. Does anybody know what the birthstone is for July? This is not a quiz, but just some fun facts. Anybody know? Anybody know what the birthstone is for July? July. It starts with I'll let you guys guess in the chat. I'll scoot down to the second. The flower, ruby. Yes, Shelly said ruby. You're right. Flower is water lily and larkspur are two birth flowers for July. The zodiac signs for July are Cancer and Leo. If you're into that. We talked about this earlier on our quiz. July is named after Julius Caesar. The Senate named it after him. He was a famous general before he became like the leader there. The sizzling heat of July, the hottest month in the northern hemisphere. July is the hottest month for us in the United States, anywhere in the north. Opposite, if you want to know the coldest month, like down in Brazil or Argentina or Australia, it's July. The history, and so we have 4th of July. We have a national, this one's good. Lots of countries have celebrations for their national celebrations around the world. On July 1st, Canada celebrates its independence from the British Empire with Canada Day. France honors the French Revolution on July 14th with Bastille Day. That was yesterday. Algeria, Argentina, Belgium, and numerous other countries also celebrate their national holiday that month. The rabies vaccine was created by Louis Pasteur in July 6th of 1885. Wow, that's been around for a while. They tried the vaccine on some boy who was bit by a dog. It worked, and the boy was saved from the deadly disease. How about that? Have you ever heard of the phrase dog days of summer? Here's why. At the beginning of July, a period known as the dog days of summer starts. The phrase has its roots in ancient astrology from Rome and Greece, where it was linked to evil omens, canine attacks, unforeseen thunderstorms, heat, and drought. The origin of term dog days can be traced back to the star Sirius, which is part of the greater dog Canis Major star system. Now, I always thought they said it was dog days because like dogs are kind of lazy. And I thought, how you would get kind of lazy. It gets too hot to do anything. And that's what I always thought that dog days had to refer to, hot days in the summer when you just don't want to do anything. But I was wrong. It has to do with stars and all that kind of stuff. A month of delicious foods and food observations in this month. July is recognized as National Watermelon Month, National Ice Cream Month, and National Hot Dog Month. Whew. I vote for watermelon today. Then we have the historic stuff in space coming in July. We talked about the landing on the moon. And here it says, we learned this earlier, Neil Armstrong made history, become the first person to walk on the moon, if you believe that. Let's see, inspiring names. Here are some names from, you'll probably think of these, popular boys and girls names from July. There are, for boys, Jules, Julian, Julius. For girls, there's Julie, Julia, Julianne, and Juliet. There you go. It's tough to garden, it says. Let's see, there's not enough water this time of year, so it's hard to garden. Time for family fun. U.S. National Parks, it says. Go to a U.S. National Park. Hey, that'll be a good question. Do you have a famous or a favorite national park that you have visited? Add that in the chat. Do you have a favorite national park that you have visited that you really like, or one you could even put one in that you would like to visit? Add that in the chat. Add that in the chat. Here's an interesting one. Did you know that 2 presidents passed away? They died on July 4th. Do you know who they were? We talked about them earlier today. Thomas Jefferson and John Adams both died on July 4th, 1826. There's a big tank battle, and let's see, that's about it. That is about it. July. I hope you like July. Let's see. Sylvie said Estes Park in Colorado. Nice. I have not heard of that one. So if you have a favorite state park or national park, put that in the chat just for fun. Okay, we're going to open up our Bibles now. We are on schedule. We're wrapping it up. We are in Proverbs chapter 20 today. This is our good news segment. And thanks for hanging out with me. And we've had some fun today. Our verse for today, our main verse, we're going to skip around and look at a couple of different verses. But our main verse, since we are in Proverbs, is from Proverbs chapter 25. And this is, in case you didn't know, I forgot to put this on. My name's Ken. I should have done that a long time ago, but I forgot. And then I'm looking for our verse. Here we go. Proverbs. This is a good one. And again, we're talking about self-control. Whoever has no rule over his own spirit is like a city broken down without walls. Proverbs 25:28. So here we are. We're talking about ruling our spirit. We're talking about having self-control. And it is important that we do have self-control. So my question for you is, do you consider yourself to be a person who has a lot of self-control? You don't have to answer, but maybe just think this over yourself. Or do you lack self-control? So maybe give that some thought and examine your own life. Are you good? You feel like you have self-control in most areas of your life, or do you lack it in some areas of your life? And you know what? We can be a combination. There might be areas of our lives that we have things together, and then in some areas that we don't. But God is telling us here in his word that it's important that we have self-control. And that means rule over your own spirit is what we're talking about here today. Let me again bring up that verse. So some benefits I was looking at from as far as just our physical, natural side. Here are some benefits of having self-control. Benefits of self-control. And you can jump in the chat anytime you want. Okay, I would love to hear that. Shelly's got an upcoming surgery. We'll definitely be praying for you, Shelly. We got that. Valerie says she likes Yosemite and Yellowstone. Okay, so back to our study. Benefits of having self-control. So the benefits of having self-control is the ability to avoid or manage conflicts or arguments. That's important, right? So we know how to deal with kind of stressful things in life. Let me switch that over real quick. And then also we have the ability to, we have better physical and mental health if we have self-control, better fitness. We're more likely to be able to resist temptation. These are all important things kind of to note in life that will be to our benefit. And then we're more likely to establish good habits, and we're also able to resist bad habits as well. So those are kind of traits that come along with having self-control. Better, and we might make better career, and we might achieve more as far as in our career and also in academic things. So interesting. Now, some things, if we lack in self-control, here's some problems that we could face. It becomes difficult to manage our emotions. And then the one that pops in my mind is like getting angry. Every once in a while, I do give into that one. I get angry about like some really dumb things. So I am guilty of that one. But anger is a problem, right? We want to be able to control that anger. Our behaviors, our impulses. If we lack self-control, these things can go kind of crazy. The way we act, the things we might do. We don't think about consequences for the things we do if we're lacking self-control. And we don't realize that our actions can actually hurt other people. That's one of the things that comes with lack of self-control. We have relationship problems and communication problems, and then like mental health, depression, these kind of things, all trust issues, it says. And we're not good at handling our finances, our money well, if we're lacking in self-control. And then where it said before, if you have self-control, you're going to achieve more. Here it says you don't meet your goals in education, work, the assignments that you're supposed to take care of, you don't always get it done. So we could see, that it's important in our daily lives. Like if we want to live our best lives, that we want to have self-control, because you can see in all of these areas that the positive side of having self-control is really important. And then the negative side, when we lack it, you can see that it's very destructive for us. Let me pull up that verse again. So it says, Proverbs here is telling us that when we don't control our own spirit, when we don't have control, we're self-control. It says we're like a city that's broken down. So imagine that, a city all crumbly and falling apart. And here it says, the walls are fallen down, they're broken down. So the city, it becomes defenseless, right? And there's no protection. The walls are meant to protect, but they're broken down. Now the city is destroyed. And so the Bible here is telling us that when we don't control our own spirits, that we can get in this type of position where if we were the city, we would kind of look broken down. Our walls are not doing what they're designed to do. It puts us in a weakened position where we start to make poor decisions, right? That makes things worse. And we do things that hurt ourselves. We talked about that. And the people in the world that are around us, because we don't have this defense called self-control up in place, they can start to take advantage of us and even damage us. None of this is good. None of this is good, of course. So, the important thing is, since we're reading the Bible and we're kind of talking about spiritual things, let's go ahead and jump through a couple of different verses where God tells us about having self-control. And some of the time, it won't necessarily be the word self-control, but the words that are related to self-control definitely come into play in each of these verses. So we'll run through these, and I'll kind of plug them into what I think God wants us to hear as we're doing this. So our first verse is from Galatians. Now, I'm sure you've heard of this Bible verse. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such, there is no law. So see, if we are following Jesus and the Holy Spirit is working inside of us, we should see these things in our life. So the fruit, do you see these things growing out of your life? Do I see them growing out of my life? It's a question we need to ask. So, of course, we've seen these: love, joy, peace, long-suffering, that's patience, kindness, goes on and on. But you see, one of them enlisted is self-control. So evidence that we are walking with the Lord is that we have these traits in our life. But one of them is self-control. That's from Galatians chapter 5. Now let's move on to James. He says, James was the brother of Jesus. He says, so then, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. So that would be like slow to get angry. For the wrath, the anger of man, does not produce the righteousness of God. That's from James chapter 1, 19 through 20. So you can see that we're supposed to be more. God wants us to be, let me switch back to me for a second. God wants us to be more patient, right? He says, listen more, speak less, and don't get angry. Getting angry about stuff and angry at people definitely does not make things better, right? What do you guys think? I don't think it is a good example. And so that's what God says. Be patient. Listen. Don't get angry or upset. If we do those kind of things, we're going to kind of ruin our witness before people. All right? Then 1 Corinthians 9 has this good verse. Do you not know that those who run in a race, they all run to receive, but one receives the prize? Run in such a way. So run is kind of like we are in a race and we're on our way to heaven. We want to run and give all our best. Run in such a way that you might obtain the prize. And everyone who competes for the prize is temperate in all things. Temperate is kind of has self-control in all things. Now they do it to obtain a crown here on earth, perishable crown, but we for an imperishable crown. So our reward in heaven lasts forever. But you see, to run the race, we have to be temperate, it says. We have to have self-control. We have to have balance in our life. We talked about that a lot, balancing out our life. And then our last verse is from 2 Timothy. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And that sound mind would be connected to self-control. Okay? God doesn't want us to be afraid, but he wants us to experience his power and his love. And we can do that as we have a sound mind. That's what God wants to give to us. So that would be our next thing. You know, we understand that it's important that we have self-control, that we make good choices, good decisions. That really the choices we make today or tomorrow, they really have a way, they really have a way of impacting the rest of our life. So it's very important that we make good choices and good decisions today. And of course, one of the ways we do that is by having self-control. Self-control will help us to make wise choices, good decisions we've talked about here. So if we want to be more connected to God, which I assume we all want to do, if we want to be more like Jesus, it's very important that we exercise self-control in all areas of our life. So having self-control is evidence that God is working in our lives. Remember, we talked about that verse there, the fruit of the Spirit. One of the ideas mentioned was self-control. So that's evidence. And so that's good. And then when we have self-control, we start to make changes in our life, things that are beneficial for us. And then we also avoid the things that are not so good for us. And last here that we talked about how having self-control, if we can control making good choices, bad choices, being wise, being more patient, kind, loving, interacting with people, communicating with them, caring about others, having empathy. These are all things kind of connected to self-control. In the end, we're going to take these things on into eternity. As we've lived for the Lord here on earth with an idea of having self-control, not getting angry, upset. These are going to be things that we've done here on earth, but we're going to get rewarded for them in heaven. I think that's awesome. I think that God has rewards based on our character here on earth and the things that we did with the gifts that God had given to us. And one of those gifts that he wants us to have is self-control. Now, we might think, that in some areas I've got it together, and in some areas I don't have it quite so all together. What do we need to do in that case? Well, we know that God is for us and that God loves us and God wants to bless us. It's up to us. If there are some areas in our life that we are struggling, we need to ask God for help. And if there are areas in our lives that we're doing pretty good in, then we need to ask God to continue to strengthen us in those areas. We don't want to become overconfident. We don't want to rely just on our own strength. But it's real important that we go to God in prayer and that we ask him and be willing for him to fix us and change us and correct us if we need to be, all in hopes that we would be becoming more like Jesus. And as we become more like him, we become pleasing to our Father in heaven. So I think that's real important, and self-control goes a really, really long way. I hope you guys all have it. And again, if you don't, if you feel like in some areas I could be doing better, ask God for help. He wants to help you. He wants to help me, but it's up to us to ask him. So let's do that as we end up real quick here as our Take Two Tuesday finishes up. Let's pray together, okay? Father, we thank you so much for the time we've shared together. We've had some fun times, and we learned a few things here and there, but most of all, we're learning about this lesson here on having self-control. And so we do want to pray that each of us would have the correct balance in our lives where we'd be making godly choices and decisions, and we'd be resisting things that are not good for us. So help us to exercise self-control in all areas of our lives. And we can't do it in our own strength or our power. So we're praying that you would give us the strength and the ability to do the things that are pleasing to you. And then also want to pray, Shelly asked for prayer, so we're praying for her to be healthy, get her through the surgery that's coming up, and just bless her in a special way. And lead us today, Lord, as we just want to follow after you, and we just want to get to know you better, and we just pray you continue to work in our lives. And we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, we are done. A couple minutes early today. Make sure you check in and watch Stephanie today. She's going to be back on. Let me see. I think I have that banner one more time. Let's see. If you want to shop with HSN, use this link. If you can copy that down, I'll add that in the comment section below our link. If you're going to shop at HSN, use this. It's our affiliate link. It kind of reminds HSN to know that we're out here and that people who follow our programs also shop with them. So that's important. And then so I'll add that to the chat, the comment section below. And then we have, those are the times coming up. Stephanie was on earlier today, but she'll be back on at 12 p.m., which is coming up in about half an hour, and then 4 p.m. also. Those are Pacific Coast times. Okay, so that's coming up. You can check out Stephanie on the HSN TV, or you can also get on your computer, phone. I watched it on my phone today earlier when Stephanie was on. And I think you want to stop by the website, see what's new. But there was a lot more fun stuff on HSN this time. It just happened, the two releases coincided and came up on the same day. But thank you for stopping by and watching with us. Thanks for helping me out with our, somebody's trying to call me a telemarketer, it says. I'm not answering. Thanks for helping me out with the quiz. We got about a D, which is not that great, but we tried our best. Okay, have a wonderful day. I will see you next week. I think I'm going to do this next week. I have something going on in the morning. So watch, and you should get a scheduling update. I think it's going to be later in the afternoon, like 1:30 or 2. So kind of keep that in mind. I do plan on doing an episode next week, but it will be later in the day. So maybe set yourself a reminder. I think it'll be like 1:30 or 2. If you get our notifications, you should get something from YouTube saying we're going live at around 1:30, 2 o'clock next Tuesday. Okay? All right. Have a great day. I will see you soon. God bless all of you. Okay? Take care now. And let me get my sign off. Bye-bye.